The tragic death of Yu Menglong on September 11, 2025, is a tale that has touched the hearts of millions of people in China as well as across the globe. It is not only the death of a super talented actor and singer, but a story full of mystery, controversy, and cries for justice that has revealed the seedy side of the Chinese entertainment industry and the society that it belongs to. Born in Urumqi on June 15, 1988, Xinjiang, Yu Menglong first gained fame in 2015 when he played the ninth prince in the very popular web series Go Princess Go. His popularity increased even further in 2017 when he starred in Eternal Love, and he was famous for other dramas and movies such as Love Studio and Xuanyuan Sword. Yu Menglong, who was rising to fame, continued a very humble lifestyle. He was the only breadwinner of his family, one child supporting his mother. He slept on a bunk bed in a rented apartment, stored his belongings in cardboard boxes, and dressed in relatively cheap clothing, with coats for only 200 yuan even in winter, in stark contrast to his manager's costly jackets. He wore a plain t-shirt worth 70 yuan on the day he passed away, testifying to his simple living even at the peak of his popularity. Furthermore, Yu was quietly philanthropic, donating large amounts to charity despite the hardships he endured financially. On that fateful evening, Yu went for a party at a friend's flat with some 16 other people. At around 2 a.m., he allegedly entered a bedroom and locked the door. Several hours later, at about 6 a.m., a dog walker neighbor found his body under the building. The Beijing police were quick to report the results of their probe, dismissing foul play and concluding that death was due to an accidental fall connected with intoxication by alcohol. Yu's mom also appeared to validate these reports and called the public to desist from speculating, expressing her profound sorrow and loss. However, this official explanation was received with skepticism all over. Social media went into overdrive with conspiracy theories opposite to what the police have stated. Photos were shared that captured suspicious scratch marks on and near the window through which Yu fell, and netizens pointed out how hard it is to remove the insect screen on the window without tools, a point that helped feed suspicion of a fight. Stories also pointed out that Yu had a fear of heights and suicide or rash accidental falling was thus unlikely, considering that he had an upcoming hectic schedule. The controversy further escalated when the videos purported to capture Yu screaming, weeping, and being tortured prior to his fall briefly surfaced online before being quickly removed. These videos captured Yu in obvious distress, prompting many to believe that the death could have been fabricated or caused by foul play. Allegedly, as per reports and leaked accounts, Yu was detained, tortured, and compelled to divulge information regarding a USB drive that held proof of corruption and illegal dealings within the entertainment industry and political circles. Even some accounts went so far as to state that his kidnappers opened his abdomen to extract this drive forcibly, a chilling revelation that sketched out a gory scenario of his last few hours. Names came up in relation to the rumored murder conspiracy, among them a powerful individual said to be the illegitimate son of a top Chinese Communist Party leader. This producer was said to have had vast control over Yu's career and personal life, exhibiting a pattern of harassment and intimidation for years. His clampdown on Yu allegedly came down to the series of events that led to the fatal evening. The reason why no one of the party guests has ever spoken out and many prominent figures disappeared contributed to the perception that the case was swept under the carpet by influential powers. Authoritative channels tried to contain the public reaction. Police detained 3 women responsible for allegedly fabricating social media posts that stoke panic and conspiracy theories. These included claims of Yu being hung from a window, tortured brutally, and subjected to inhumane treatment. Though the women admitted to spreading false information, widespread distrust remains among fans and activists who continue pushing for transparency about the real circumstances. In the midst of the upheaval, actress Song Yen's surprising public admission upended the story. She confessed to being strong-armed into involvement in the conspiracy over Yu's death, exposing the chilling machinery of coercion and terror that hung over those around the star. Her account underscored the broken loyalties, threats, and betrayals that characterized the poisonous world in which Yu existed. Yu Menglong's passing revealed the structural exploitation rife in China's entertainment sector, a world where young artists, frequently from humble origins like Yu, fight against exploitative strategies and power mechanisms that tend to control their destinies. Yu's humble way of life, contrasted with the general affluence that surrounded him, highlighted exploitation that tends not to speak for itself. The popular reaction to the tragedy exceeded grief. It catalyzed a campaign against repression and censorship since millions came flooding onto social media clamoring clamoring for justice even as their voices were constantly stifled. The hashtag Justice for Yu Menglong became a worldwide trending topic representing an intense resistance against government silence. This case is representative of broader conflicts in China over freedom, truth, and government. Its appeal is about more than a single actor. It questions the way power is wielded and challenged in a country where the truth tends to be state-controlled. As the investigation proceeds under a microscope, Yu Menglong's story has become a compelling symbol of courage and the persistent pursuit of justice in the face of crushing oppression. His untimely death compels all of us to face the price of silence and the need for truth. With such, Yu Menglong's legacy is one that demands action to immortalize his memory by working towards a world where dignity and justice are not luxuries but rights. The conversation ignited by his death will frame future wars between light and darkness on screens real and virtual worldwide and in China. What comes next is unknown, but Yu Menglong's story will continue to resonate with reflection, anger, and hope for justice, calling us to listen, learn, and act to protect the silenced by power. It untangles divulging layers of scandal, systemic industry corruption, political machinations, and public fury that have drawn international focus. This story is as much about a young man silenced too early as it is about the darker forces structuring modern society in China. Yu Menglong was a young star who distilled the dreams and aspirations of millions. This scandal is a turning point in China's continued grappling with corruption, freedom, and justice. The public response, online and offline, marks a dynamic, if perilous, movement of citizens demanding transparency and accountability. His legacy extends beyond art. It is a call to action against the silence enforced by power under authoritarianism. Inquiries persist amid increasing pressure at home and abroad. The world is watching as the scales between truth and cover-up teeter in the balance. Yu Menglong's tale, his life, ordeal, and passing compels us to face difficult truths. It reminds us that one who saves one life saves humanity. One who takes one life kills humanity. As this epic plays out, we are left to ask, will justice at last come out of the darkness? Will his legacy bring about reform in a system founded on corruption and fear? The answers are yet to come, but the power of Yu Menglong's tale is undeniable. A spark of hope that even when all seems lost, courage and truth can triumph.